Differential Association Theory by Catherine Arnold. In this presentation, we will talk about the following things. Differential association on page 162 can be defined as from the different groups we associate with, we learn to deviate from or to conform to society's norms. Conformity and deviance. This is the idea that based on who we associate with, we will either further deviate or conform. This is due to the messages and excess definitions that we gain. Imbalance. This idea often leads to many imbalances in society as we create biases and views, causing us to lean more to one direction than the other. And because of this imbalance, we either choose to continue to conform or to deviate further. We will also discuss how those around us affect us and this theory.
This is Chandler. He's fulfilling the roles of a good student. He goes to class, gets good grades, does his homework, and has become involved, and manages to still have a social life.
This is Adam. The only role he's fulfilling is the role of a lazy student. He sleeps through classes, watches a lot of TV, and would pick drinking with his friends over other activities any day.
Time for class.
Hey, you want a beer?
Sure.
By Adam taking the beer, he demonstrates the differential association theory. Since Adam surrounds himself with people who find it exhilarating to do deviant acts, he finds it acceptable to deviate.
Go, 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 go. Ah, yeah!
Unlike Adam, Chandler refrains from deviant acts due to the strength of social bonds and the reputation he is upholding. Social bonds are an essential element of the control theory.
Hey, come across the hall, we're all drinking. Chandler knows that his parents invested a lot of time and money into his college education. Chandler has strong ties with his parents. He lives by their values and beliefs. Even though they are not here, Chandler stays true to the teachings of his parents. Work first, play later.
No thanks, I really gotta study. I got this huge exam tomorrow I gotta get ready for.
Alright, then, more for me.
Attaboy, Chandler. You've earned a gold star.
Another way that Chandler's deviance is being monitored is by his involvement in the mathletes. By being involved in such clubs, he interacts with people with the same work ethic and has less opportunity to deviate.
Go, 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 go.
Go.
Come on.
Hurry, you're running out of time.
10 seconds.
10 seconds. 9,
8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
time. Athlete champions!
Woo!
Woo!
So, are you going to Jeff's this weekend?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm so fed up with school. I've been working so hard. I just want to party like all weekend. And if there's time for homework, then I might do it.
Yeah. So, what are your plans for this weekend?
I mean, after all my studying and stuff, I think I'm gonna get a meeting Saturday afternoon. But then after that, I think I'm just gonna get some food with my friend Joe uptown and pretty much hang out and maybe do some more studying after that.
Good. Sounds like a good weekend to me.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast.
Chandler stays true to the role of a good student by surrounding himself with positive social networks who are dedicated to success. Adam, on the other hand, has built a network of people who are more concerned with the social life than school. The bonds and the networks you choose do matter.
Families can affect our habits. From a young age, our families influence our outlook on many things in life. Whether one is rebelling or conforming can be determined by the actions of their family. On 162, there is mention of a study conducted that was able to show that roughly half of the amount of inmates had family members who had also previously served time, whether that was a parent, a grandparent, a sibling, or a spouse. Not only are we impacted by our family, but also by our friends, neighborhood, groups, and other subcultures that we associate with. Differential association theory isn't a term that everyone really knows by name, but it is something that we all participate in. A common example of this would be when adults refer to bad neighborhoods and wanting to take their children out of those schools because they don't want their children to have negative influences from delinquent children or other things because they believe it'll make their children misbehave and their children will begin to act out. It can also be shown through attachments, commitments, involvements, and belief. We can see that in some regions there are more inner controls and more stronger ideals, beliefs, etc. Such as here in the South, we are believed to be the Bible Belt, so we often conform to those ideas. An example of this is also in some communities, violence is part of the culture, and you might hear something like, "He got what was coming to him," when they talk about a recent death in the community. These bonds with society can be based on attachments or our respect and affection towards those who conform to those commitments, such as not wanting to disappoint your family or losing your job, involvement in activities you participate in, and finally the beliefs or morals that you hold. Many sociologists believe that when a child is taught more self-control at a younger age, that when they get older it could help them have more inner controls when it comes to the external pressure discussed in the slide. When we create these differences and divides, this can often lead to conflicts between groups and people because of the perceived stereotypes against that particular group. To better look at this theory, on page 164, the book provides an example, which follows. Suppose for one moment that people think of you as a whore, a pervert, a cheat. Pick something that really gets to you. What power would such a reputation have over you and those who you associate with? How would that make you see yourself? How about if someone began calling you intelligent, truthful, honest, something that makes you look better? How would this type of reputation give people different expectations of your character and behavior? And how would this label also shape the way you feel about yourself? For me, this was a really eye-opening set of questions that I think we can all really relate to and should take a minute to think about. Imbalances. There are many pushes and pulls that you might experience in that given example, and on top of our outer influences, such as those we associate with, clothes we wear, and the things we do, we also have inner controls, such as the voices of those around us, including our own. In the end, the final decision is yours. So which has more control in your life? The inner controls or the outer controls? Would you give in more to one or the other? This example helps to show just what control theory is. In conclusion, differential association theory can be defined as, from the different groups we associate with, we learn to deviate from or conform to society's norm. In this, we can see just how important conformity or deviance can lead to social imbalances. This concept and those around us, our family and friends, have a great impact on us, including how we see ourselves or how we might see the world. We saw an example of how often inmates have had other relatives that have served time in prison as well. Families can often do the complete opposite as well and remove their child from school or move neighborhoods because they fear the influence that their child might have in that area, possibly leading to that child having negative connotations associated with that area that the parent had removed them from. Applying the control theory. Lastly, we see that when we apply the control theory, when we are labeled or given characteristics by others, not only does that affect how we see ourselves, but also how others see us. This can lead to us to conform more to those ideas or attempt to deviate from this. This leads to the imbalances between our outer influences as well as our inner. But in the end, the final choice is ours, whether we choose to conform, deviate, or attempt to remain in control and balance ourselves.